Greetings, dear ladies. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. My partner steps away. How many times have I faced you or those like you in circles like this? I don't expect you to have done your homework and listened to all of the messages. So let's do a little review and then reveal something we really haven't done before. Dear ones, the sisterhood is based in women who have a remembrance or want to, a feeling perhaps that they've been part of an original group on this planet. What often happens is you're drawn here, not by accident, to hear about the sisterhood, to consider perhaps there is something here for you. Women like to meet with women. It's natural. It's beautiful. It's more than that. If you take a look at what Lemuria was, it's a launching pad, and we've said this before, it's a launching pad for the human Akash. Dear ones, whatever portion of time you might have been there, you played a part that was only one lifetime. And the next lifetime you were not on Lemuria. You were somewhere else. But you were somewhere else with one life of remembrance. This was the beginning of an enlightened humanity. This was the beginning of what happened after the creation story. It's not necessarily true that you came in with other sisters remembering. You might have been alone on the second lifetime, or the third. And what you carried with you was a remembrance of the sisterhood and what you learned there. And what was it necessarily that Lemurian women knew or practiced or participated in? And we'll say it again. The women were the shamans. Now, in Lemuria, you were a group of shamans. That is to say, you were literally in training for the lifetimes that would follow. And now it is time during the shift for you to remember certain parts of the training. We've told you who your trainer was. What for? For a long time, Meliha was there. But let me tell you something I haven't said before. Now, who is her trainer? She had a Pleiadian in love training her. And ever so often, you would be exposed to her trainer. What do you suppose the training was to be a shaman? Number one, being a female was primary. For this is the way of it. It still is the way of it. I'll say it again. That the women carry the equipment of the intuition. They are the ones who raise the children, who train the children. They know. They have that which is intuitive power to know. Who better than the life giver of the planet to carry this on and be the ones who would advise the rest of the planet on a regular basis, in love, of what to do. You were seen this way, and we say it again, by all of the men. This was their training too. Have you ever considered a remembrance from men of that time to help the acceptance of when it's the time again, the women to slowly take some positions of spiritual knowledge, authority, leadership? Do you think that's going to be tough? What if the men are remembering too? You see, there were Lemurian men as well, of course. But I return to this. What do you think your primary training was? as a shaman. We've told you what the exercises were. We've given you information of what you did when you were there, of how it worked when you were there. Literally, in groups of women, in shamanic training for your next lives. All right, you stand in front of a master teacher, a Pleiadian, who is going to give you information about you as a woman, what's expected, how to work it. What do you think she would say about intuition? Turn a page for me. Pretend you're in your second or third life and you find yourself literally as the leader of a group of people, not women, who are turning to you for intuitive leadership for the tribe. You would start giving them information about what you learned in Lemuria. You'd remember it. Someone comes to you and says, "Dear leader," they may even kneel in front of you, and they would say, "I need guidance. What do I do?" What would be your answer? Would you say, "I don't know. What do you think?" No, you wouldn't. You'd call upon your training, the intuition that you were taught to draw from the source as intuitive power and deliver the answer. Are you hearing me? Dear ladies, it's time to remember that lesson. What's the next step in your life? Can I make a suggestion? Don't ask. Feel. Because the next step of where you're to be, what's going to happen, what you're supposed to do, what is the most intuitive and glorious thing that will amplify your magnificence on this planet, will come to you for you, not from another person. That is the training that you had in Lemuria, shaman. That's the first thing to be taught. That's the first thing to remember. You are in control of you. You will have intuition for you. If you start asking everyone else, where is your training? What have you learned? Why are you here? Do you want to make this practical, or do you want to get together, have fun, and sing songs? That's the question, isn't it? This is here for a reason. Dear ones, I want you to remember things. It's in there. It's in there. It doesn't matter how long ago. Time is irrelevant, totally. You put past lives in a linear fashion, don't you? And you say, how can I possibly remember 40,000 years? You have no idea the multidimensionality of the Akashic record. It's not stored according to years. It's stored according to experiences and profundities. And you, in your training, is right on top. That's what you're here for. To start remembering a beautiful, beautiful power you have. Intuitiveness, remembrance, shamanic teaching is you knowing how to draw from the source, not only give yourself information, but those around you, and your family, and have it be accurate, true, loving, integrity. That's what you're here for. Start remembering that which is not just the songs, or just what Melly Haw said, or not just the experience of togetherness and the beauty, the camaraderie, but the lessons are at hand. And so it is.